Okay, so we're finally done. And I'm actually very happy. I mean, as a first attempt for anything to do with battle damage or weathering or anything of this kind of sort, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing has turned out. See, it's always good to get cheap model kits and practice your painting skills on it because you learn a lot more. Because the thing is, every time I would never have done this with a master grade kit, for example. It's just too much. I would be scared, and it's expensive. Why waste something that expensive on practicing paint when you get something for $3 and you can do exactly the same thing? And I'm actually very happy with the way this thing has done out. Now, just because of the kit itself, it was quite tight in terms of the joints to right away to begin with. So after I've painted this whole thing, it has become even tighter. So I'm not 100% sure if I can show you the transformation, but we'll have a look. This guy is, let's see, is from the anime Sky Girls. He is from the main character, and it's basically a flight suit where, okay, there are 3 flight suits and 3 girls, and each of the girls have a flight suit. They have to go fight aliens and save the world. So this is the main one. His name is Reijin, Reijin, and his basic character is supposed to be someone who fights with the sword. Now the way it works in the anime is that you get the other two, the other 2 chicks, and what they did was they kind of created a barrier around the alien, and then this guy came in and basically killed the alien by stubbing its sword right in the middle. So that's basically the history and background of this character. You just have to see the anime. It's nothing special, and it's kind of a knockoff of a lot of the other animes where you have people fighting aliens, but it's entertaining. Let's put it that way. This kit itself is very nice. It's a very easy build, nothing special there. But I had fun making this. It's something very different. I've never made anything like this before, and it was also fun painting it, just trying out something new. So I wouldn't mind it. Now the second one that I have is completely gray, so I'm thinking just go completely customize the crap out of that one. No idea what color scheme I'm going to do for that one, but I'm thinking Skywarp from Transformers. I don't know. Just thoughts. Okay, so now this guy, what I have done with this guy is painted him completely. So you've got the generic green. I had the green and the white I have spray painted. Everything else has been done hand painted. Oh, sorry, even the black parts. This backbone and these 2 jetpacks have been spray painted black as well. The black is just your normal flat black. This is a generic green. I think it was hunter green. And the white is just flat, plain white. There's nothing special, unique about it. I'm going to have to put this guy down because this guy has absolutely no feet whatsoever. Unless you use the wings. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Alright, so basically, apart from the green and the white, I have used Tamiya, and this is the Tamiya Chrome Silver, and this is basically for the weathering parts on the kit as well as the blade for the sword. I have also gone and used gunmetal gray. This is again used for a little bit of the weathering aspects as well as the hilt of the sword and the actual gun itself, and we'll come back to that later. And finally, I have used titanium gold. Now I was thinking about using the bright shiny gold or the Gundam marker gold, but the thing was that I figured this guy is gonna be weathered and this guy is gonna be beaten up, and so I'd rather go for something that's a little bit more dull rather than bright gold. So this is what I ended up using. In addition to these 3 paints, I did use a lot of other markers. I used the Real Touch marker green for highlighting and doing all the green parts. I did use black as well from Real Touch, and then I used a normal red Gundam marker, and that was mainly for things such as the boosters and just a couple of highlights here and there, nothing over the top. And just to create a little bit of difference, I did use the normal silver and gold Gundam markers just to give the the kit kind of like, a variant on different colors. And just using a combination of all of these paints, just it looks good in the end. I'm happy with the way things have turned out here. And I do realize I have gone overboard a little bit on some of the things, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Now, the funny thing is that you actually do get, with this kit, you get a stand. Now, the way this stand works is that it's actually part of the runner, and you just have to cut off the piece of the runner, which will give you, let me see if I can show you, which will give you this knobby bit and this hole. And basically you just plug it in, and then you use the runner itself as the stand. And at the top you're given this one piece which will connect to the back over there in that little hole. It'll just connect there, and it'll be a nice little stand. Now my clever self, what I did was, I figured, okay, I don't need the whole runner, I'm just gonna need this little piece here. Yes, very, very clever. Now what this ended up doing is that it's not big enough. So when I have this guy on the back, this is just not gonna be big enough. It's not gonna support it. It'll just fall over. So, not the smartest move in my book, but what you gonna do? This is the only way it's gonna stand, is if you just put it off to the side a little bit and you kind of figure out how you're gonna balance it and place it around. But this is probably the only way it'll stand. And it's okay. It's not that bad. Now, the figure itself is a transforming one. Now, okay, it doesn't have the best transformation that exists, but it does transform. It goes from its flight suit mode to some kind of airplane mode. And it's actually a pretty simple transformation. You get these pieces here, and all you do is you shove them back down that way. These arms, technically you just straighten them out, but before that you have to use the legs. Now I hope this works and it doesn't pop off, because when I was doing it before, it does pop off. Okay, but basically you have to turn the legs around like that, so they're facing the other way. It's just literally 180 degrees. But it's hard because there's no clearance for the piece on this side. There, just popped off. No worries. Okay, and then once you turn them around, you take the wings and you just put them out to the side. Just like that. And that pretty much it's in its flight mode. Now the sword itself technically is supposed to go in its back, but this is just whole one piece. So I just kind of leave it down that way. And there you go. There it is in, don't forget to move up the head, in its flight mode. And it's okay. I mean, it's very accurate to the anime itself. I wouldn't really call it a plane. I can't really think of something like this flying, but it's from an anime. What are you gonna do? Now, in terms of accessories, this guy doesn't come with too much. He comes with these two pieces. Now, honestly speaking, I have absolutely no idea what these pieces are for. They're very similar to a couple of the other pieces. I mean, maybe they just go on the shoulders or something, or just like caps for the hands. But you get two of them, and technically these are supposed to be the same thing that you have for the hands. I mean, if you look at it, this is the fist right in the front there. So this piece is almost exactly the same, but instead of a fist, you've got a polycap or something. I mean, it's one solid piece, so there's not much we can do, but I don't remember what this is for. Now, in addition to this, the last thing you get is the gun. Now, I've painted this. It was all green, but I've given it, this is the normal static green, this is the titanium gold, this is the gunmetal. So it does end up looking quite nice in the end, especially when you have it with the kit itself. Now, for the articulation, this is something I'm scared about because I know the joints are very, very tight, so I don't want to end up breaking anything. But these wing pieces are very flexible. They're basically on a ball joint, so they'll go all around. It's 360. The legs themselves are on a hinge over here, there's only one joint, so you're not going to get 360 or 180, but you do get a fair, decent bend over there. It's just a pity that it doesn't actually have any feet, so it can't do anything with it, but yeah, what you gonna do? Now the legs themselves on the hip are on a ball joint, so but they don't move that far. We're only talking about there and there, so we're total 90 degrees at the hip itself. The hip joint is a very, very tight one. If I can show you guys, it's where the backbone meets that white piece. There, it's basically a ball joint, and so you do get some movement, but not too much, and it's simply because this back piece is also joined to the backbone, which is connected to this, so you're not going to get too much. Otherwise, it's okay. The arms themselves, again, not too much. Technically, they would swivel and rotate at the shoulder, but the thing is that this piece gets in the way, so it's not going to move around too much. Okay, there's a very, very tight ratchet joint, so I'm not going to move it too much. Otherwise, you would be able to get it at 360 degrees. This shoulder piece is literally just plugged in there, so you can get a good deal of mobility around with it. The headpiece, again, it's on a ball joint, so it's going to look up really high, look down, and it can rotate 360. You just have to be a little bit careful and make sure it doesn't bang into the back piece itself. That's about it. I mean, the arms themselves do rotate. You just have to be a little bit careful in how you do it, and you have rotation and swivel points in everywhere. You have them over here at the biceps, at the elbow, and even at the wrist itself. So you just have to be a little bit careful in how you pose them. The backpack again is fairly poseable, so you can actually move it up and down like that. So it goes up and down a little bit, so you can give it some mobility to the backpack. And just the way it's done, they're on a hinge, so you have a little bit of individual mobility, even though the green piece that connects it to the backpack is one. So articulation wise, it is okay. It's just unfortunately you can't really use it because there's nothing there to use it from. You just have to, fold the wings down, and that's how you get it to stand. Otherwise, the actual character itself would kind of go in the middle over there, behind this piece, and this is where the feet itself would rest for the character. Now, I was thinking this would be big enough to get one of my anime figures in there, like, maybe a Figma or a Revoltech or something, but it's too small. It's probably the same size as a Revoltech or a Figma figure anyway. So, anyway, I hope you like it, and this is a custom figure. I hope you like the work in progress videos. Do let me know what you think. If you like my videos, please do subscribe. I can guarantee you'll get a lot more good stuff on the channel as well.